Thanks, Mr. Post. All right, I have a gentleman on an iPhone. You are looking at the audio, not mine. Jane Carden. Mr. Goldstein, I do have Miss Carden in the courtroom. Do you want to come up to the podium? Mr. Goldstein, do you know who your prosecutor is on this file, these files?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Arnold or Mr. Sneed, will you be handling Carden today? Or I got Miss Weiss now. Hold on. I think it's Miss Weiss. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jamie Lee Carden, file number 22-20792FH and 22-21124FC. I have David Goldstein appearing on behalf of Ms. Carden, and I have Jacqueline Weiss appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial on both of these files. Mr. Goldstein, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, the last time we were here on these matters, I had told the court we had just gotten the preliminary examination transcript, and I wanted an opportunity to meet with Ms. Carden and prepare some motions. Unfortunately, I got stuck for 3 consecutive weeks in a jury trial and have not had an opportunity to do those motions or meet with my client, so I'm asking for another adjournment.
All right, how far of an adjournment would you like?
I would like, well, Your Honor, the problem is I'm supposed to start another murder trial a week from this coming Monday, the 17th, which should last about a month. So I'm asking for probably the middle to end of August.
All right. Ms. Adams, Ms. Carden is present in the courtroom, so if we could do the notice. I have August 9, August 30, or September 6th.
Let's go with August 30, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Weiss, any objection?
No, Your Honor.
So I will adjourn this to August 30 at 8:30 in the morning. Ms. Carden and Mr. Goldstein will do the notice because she's present. So we will see you back on August 30 at 8:30. Ms. Carden, have a seat right there and we'll get your notice of hearing. All right. All right. Mr. Goldstein, I believe your other file is I believe we have Mr. Hawkins.
Yes, Your Honor.
He is not in jail, correct?
He's not in jail.
Okay, let's see if I got him on this iPhone. Mr. Amadeo, I have Mr. Worley, Ms. Underwood. Let me close that breakout room. I have a gentleman in a black polo on an iPhone. What is your name?
Caleb Simpson.
Your attorney is Jeff Bennett, correct?
Samuel Bennett, yes.
Oh, Samuel Bennett. More than one Bennett. So I'm going to change your screen name and I'm going to mark in there that Samuel Bennett's your attorney. I'm going to put you in the waiting room. And when Mr. Bennett gets here, I will bring you back in, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's see, jail. All right, whoever at the jail, I have no video. And then I have no audio or video on the other jail window. All right, so. All right, Mr. Amadeo, I do have Mr. Worley. Mr. Worley, can you unmute your device? All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Patrick John Worley. I have William Amadeo appearing on behalf of Mr. Worley, and I have Jacqueline Weiss appearing on behalf of the people. Let me find them here. This is the date and time scheduled for just a pre-trial at this point. Mr. Amadeo, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, there's two matters I want to take up. One was the standaway motion. The people stipulated to get the medical records of the complaining witness, and I withdrew the psychological request. And the second
Hold on
matter.
a second. All right, I'm gonna put the jail in the waiting room just for a minute because I'm getting some feedback, but I'll take him next. I'm getting feedback, so I'm gonna put you in the waiting room for just a moment. All right, go ahead, Mr. Amadeo.
And the second matter, I believe Prosecutor Wise would like a brief bench conference, if that would be acceptable.
Or we can schedule it for another day that's not a
We could
Wednesday.
schedule for another time. That's fine, Judge.
That's fine. I'm gonna put Ms. Weiss. I'm gonna open a breakout room. Actually, I'm gonna do one thing before I take your case, and I'll do that in a minute, but let me take care of the jail case. Mr. Torres. All right, Ms. Underwood. All right, we're back on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Randy Torres. This is a Judge Olsaver file. Ms. Underwood, have you had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Torres?
I have, Your Honor.
Is Mr.
And
Torres
we would ask
eligible
the
for
court-
appointed counsel?
He is.
All right, and Ms. Underwood, how would you like to proceed today?
We would ask the court to enter a not guilty plea on Mr. Torres's behalf and perhaps schedule this for next Wednesday in front of Judge Olsaver, if that would be possible.
All right, so,
And Your Honor, I'd like to be heard as to the issue of bond.
well, Ms. McGrain, what time does Judge Olsaver do VOPs on a Wednesday, or? Do you have any
Judge, I
idea?
believe that he sets it at the same time you do.
8:15?
I believe so.
All right, so Ms. Underwood, I will set this for July 12th at 8:15 in the morning for a pretrial, and you may be heard regarding bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. As the court is aware, this is listed as a technical violation on Mr. Torres, Your Honor. I believe, Mr. Torres, what is your local address, please?
It's 808 East Swami Street.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe perhaps it would be appropriate to give Mr. Torres a PR bond with the supervision of Mr. Coast by whatever drug or reporting
Mr. Coast
provisions the
doesn't
court feels
handle
comfortable.
violation of probation bond conditions.
I'm sorry.
This is a probation violation. Mr. Coast doesn't handle these cases.
Thank you, Your Honor. With whatever conditions the court feels comfortable.
I'm going to deny your request. First of all, the address you gave is not the address that the probation department has. And while it is a technical violation, he can serve more than obviously a week in jail. So I'm going to deny the bond request, and I'll schedule this July 12th at 8:15 in front of Judge Olsaver. All right. Thank you, Mr. Torres. You're all set.
Excuse me, ma'am. May I address the court?
You can.
Yes, ma'am. My dad passed away 3.5, almost 4 weeks ago. And he was 81. He was a military man. He's in there for 20 years. And for the most part, my brother too died at 54. And that was like 4 years ago. And then my baby sister died 3 years ago. So there's only me, my mom, and my sister. And I promised my dad I'd help out with my mother, make sure I.
Mr. Torres, my dad died almost a year ago, so I appreciate your loss and I feel sorry for you, but you still have to report. So I'm gonna deny your bond. Judge Olsaber will see you next week. Thank you. All right, I'm going to go meet with Mr. Amadeo and Ms. Weiss. So Ms. Adams, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with them. Amadeo.
Your Honor, if you're really busy, we can come back in a couple weeks.
It's a Wednesday morning. Today I'm always busy, but
Okay, Judge.
I'm not overly busy this Wednesday. So let me find Becky. Oh, there's she. All right, I'm gonna open that breakout room.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Good morning. This is Attorney Sam Bennett. Do you happen to have Mr. Mota at the jail?
I couldn't tell you. I would have to wait until the judge gets back.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I have a gentleman in the back. What is your name?
Rick Markham.
Are you a defendant or?
I'm an observer.
Okay. Okay, have a seat then. All right, Samuel Bennett, you have Mr. Simpson, Mr. Goldstein. I do not have Mr. Goldstein. Oh, there it is. Mr. Goldstein, you also had Mr. Hawkins in the courtroom. Mr. Goldstein, I do not see Mr. Hawkins. If you want to try to give him a call.
I will, Your Honor. Are you also doing Judge Olsaber's docket this morning?
Yes, and you have,
Ridenour.
I didn't. Ridenour?
Yep.
I don't see that on his document.
Okay, I could have it the wrong date, Your Honor. We have it down for this morning. Mr. Dager Margosian, are you there?
And I don't have it in front of me.
No,
Mr.
these are
Dager
also,
Margosian.
Yeah, they're all, I was asking Mr. Diego Margosin because he has Mr. Renauer on some other files.
I have Judge Olsaber's docket, and I just have Rowell and Hollis for today,
Okay, I'll
but I
check
don't
with,
see
I'll check with
Ridnour.
his office then on that one.
Miss McBrain, can you look up Ridnour?
Yeah, first name, Judge?
Zane, Z-A-N-E.
Yeah, I'll look it up in chat, Mr. Goldstein.
And Mr.
Thank you.
Goldstein, if you could give me a call too, so we could talk about Hawkins before we go on the record, that'd be great.
Okay, I'm not sure. Send me a chat with your phone. I'm not sure I have your cell phone.
I don't have your cell phone.
Okay, I'll chat it to you. I
Thought everybody had Dave Goldstein's cell phone number.
I had yours at
Okay.
some point, Miss Arnold, but I don't know where it is.
All right, sounds good.
I'll send it to you right now.
So let me get Mr. Simpson. All right, Mr. Bennett, I'm bringing in Caleb Simpson.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Simpson's, okay. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Caleb James Lorenz Simpson, file number 23-21367 FC. I have attorney Samuel Bennett appearing on behalf of Mr. Simpson and Alexander Bayanetto appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a free trial conference. Mr. Simpson or Mr. Bennett, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, at this time, I've been talking with Mr. Bayanetto about a resolution to the case that involves drug court. So we're going to be requesting an adjournment so that we can investigate and explore whether or not Mr. Simpson is eligible for drug court.
All right, August 9, would that be all right?
Actually, Your Honor, that I'm out of town. Can we do the following week, the 16th? That would be great.
No, but you can do the 30th.
I'm in trial that day.
I can't hear you.
I'm in trial on the 30th.
Okay, September 6th.
That's totally fine, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, so Mr. Simpson, you're going to have to send a request for screening. Ms. Tusky, are you there?
I'm here, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Simpson. Sarah Tusky?
I do have
Sarah
emails,
Tusky.
Your Honor.
I'm sorry.
I have Ms. Teskey's email, so I can shoot her an email to discuss that with you.
Okay, yeah, because I think there has to be a request for screening. All right, and Mr. Bennett, will you do the stip in order to adjourn? And Mr. Bandetto, can you sign your name with your permission?
He can, Your Honor.
Thank you. Your
All
Honor.
right. All right, thank you, Mr. Simpson. Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set, Mr. Simpson. You can disconnect.
Take care, Caleb.
Right, I had 3 people come in. Are any of you a defendant? Just watching? Yeah. Oh. Mr. Bennett, did you have another case?
Yes, Your Honor, I have Mr. Mota. He's in the jail, and I would like to see if I get a breakout room with him when he's available, please.
All right, I have the jail logged on, but they're muted with no video. I don't know if anybody is there to listen, so I have Michael Dagger, Mr. Laurel, missing.
Did you say my name, Judge?
Mr. Malaro, I do show that you have an arraignment today on a William Hollis.
Correct.
He's not in my waiting room. My concern would be that for whatever reason, he's logged into Judge Olsaber's.
I'm pretty sure the guy's in jail, Judge. He was the last time I knew.
Well, I don't show him on my jail list.
I'll get my crack secretary on it. We'll figure out where.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
I mean, he could be in the jail, he's just not on my list, so.
All right, Judge, thanks.
James Goff, are you with, okay, you're not at Charles Noe's office. Okay, Mr. Goff, I'm gonna put you in the waiting room. We're just waiting for Mr. Noe, all right?
Okay, Judge, thank you.
Mr. Malaro, I do have Mr. Dotson.
Judge, Mr. Hollis is in custody and when they get a chance, they'll put him on the room.
Okay. I'll mark that he is in jail. Mr. Dotson, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. Let me grab your file.
Good morning.
One file, Mr. Malaro. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus William Jarrett Dotson. File number 23-21374FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Mr. Dotson, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. Mr. Malaro, how do you wish to proceed today with Mr. Dotson?
Judge, could I have a breakout with Mr. Dotson real quick?
Sure. Mr. Dotson, I am going to open a breakout room.
Sure.
Give me just a minute. Mr. Dotson.
Hey, Judge, Mr. Dotson's also on bond conditions where he's testing. He's doing a terrific job. Always negative.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dotson. All right. I'm going to open that breakout room. Mr. Dotson, there it goes. What case are you hearing? Say it again.
James Winston.
Okay. And he's not one of you.
Yeah.
Oh, I have someone joining me from the jail. What is your name?
Louis Mota, Your Honor.
Mr. Mota. All right.
Morning, Mr. Mota.
Your paperwork. File. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Louis Martin Mota, file number 20-19945 FH, 23-21303 FH, and 23-21304 FH. I have Samuel Bennett appearing on behalf of Mr. Mota, and I have Allison Arnold appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date time set for pretrial in this matter. Mr. Bennett, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, there is a plea offer. And before I go into a breakout room, Mr. Mota, I'd ask that Ms. Arnold could place that on the record, and then I'll head into a room with him to talk about it again.
So Ms. Arnold, if we could start with file number 20-19945 FH. Does any part of that plea agreement involve that file?
It does not, Your Honor.
Would that file be nully crossed?
Isn't that
That's the probation one.
Judge, he's on probation.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's a Bob. Okay. How about 23-21303 FH?
In that case, the defendant would plead no contest to count one with the second offense notice. The balance of the charges would be dismissed, and the people with the second offense notice and the habitual offender second offense notice, the parties would have an agreement of 5 years on the minimum. In
5-year prison term on the minimum?
Yes, Your Honor.
So 60 months to,
whatever.
all right, and then file number 23-21304FH.
It's, hang on one second. Mr. Moda, or I'm sorry, Mr. Bennett and I were just speaking this morning about this. Hang on one second. I have to get the information.
It's okay. On that one, he's charged with count 1, second degree, count 2, second degree, 3, second degree, 4, second degree.
Yeah, it's
Individual.
basically the same agreement as in the first one. Plead to count
So
one.
no contest to count 1.
Yeah,
the
with
second.
that. Yeah, and the SOPS agreement of 500 minimum.
And then that would be concurrent with the other case.
Concurrent, yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Bennett, you are now asking for a breakout room with Mr. Moda.
Yes, please. Thank you.
And Judge, I'm working on drafting those in case we have an agreement this morning.
Judge, can I join in on that breakout?
Do you represent Mr. Moda?
On the VOP, I do.
Oh, okay. All right, so Mr. Malaro.
And just for the record, the violation of probation would also run concurrent as a matter of law, is my understanding.
That's mine as well, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Bennett, are you helping the breakout room? Thank you. All right, I have a gentleman who just came in. What is your name?
Hawkins.
Mr. Hawkins, I do have Mr. Goldstein, if you want to come up to the podium.
I wanted to talk to him before I.
Well, you got to still come up to the podium. Mr. Goldstein, I do have Mr. Hawkins. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Donald Christopher Hawkins, file number 21-20468FH. And Dave Goldstein appearing on behalf of Mr. Hawkins. It's like I have Ellison Arnold appearing on behalf of the people. Mr. Hawkins is present in person. Do you have your phone on you?
Yeah.
All right, so why don't you go in the hallway and call him?
I just called his office, hoping he answered, so.
Well, he's there. Mr. Goldstein, do you want him to go out in the hallway and call you?
That's fine.
Okay. All right, Mr. Dodson, just give us a moment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Glazier. I have Crystal Espinoza in person today. Are you ready on that file?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, Ms. Espinoza, you want to come up to the podium? Yes,
ma'am. Is Phoebe?
I do not have Phoebe today.
Oh, you can't. All right.
Well, I can, I just don't know where she is. She didn't log in today.
Okay.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Crystal Marie Espinoza, file number 23-21373FH. I have John Glazier appearing on behalf of Ms. Espinoza. Ms. Espinoza is present in person. Mr. Sneed or Ms. Arnold, are you aware whether or not Ms. Muir is in the office this week or not?
She is out today, Judge.
All right, so she is out today, Mr. Glazier?
Yeah, I would ask to adjourn this, not very long. I talked with Ms. Muir about a resolution and she was gonna get back to me. So I need to speak with her and Miss Espinoza.
Yes.
At the
Yes, sir.
next pre-trial, why don't you come to my office and meet me at my office and we'll do it by Zoom,
Oh, okay, okay,
all
Yeah.
right?
okay.
Mr. Glazier, would August 9 at 8:30 be a good day for you?
That'd be fine.
All right, now, Ms. Espinoza, we do have another matter this afternoon. Have you, my understanding is you hired a new attorney on that one?
No, Your Honor, I was gonna ask.
Well, that's good. So that's all I wanted to know, but just be here this afternoon about 1:40
Okay,
and we'll address it on the record then, okay?
okay, thank you.
All right, I'll see you back at 1:40.
Miss Espinoza, on August
Oh.
9th, come over to my office at
Miss-
about 8.
Do I have to wait for a paper?
Yes.
Oh,
All right, do you understand, Ms. Adams, could I get a notice of hearing for August 9th at 8:30 from Ms. Espinoza? So Ms. Espinoza, instead of coming here, you just go across the old courthouse to Mr. Glazer's
yeah,
office.
upstairs.
Yep. Are you upstairs or downstairs now, Mr. Glazer?
We're upstairs, Your Honor.
Okay,
I can't never get a good phone number for him. Every time I look up on Google, I can't seem to find his direct number.
what is the number for you at the PD's office, Mr. Glazer?
I I think it's 264 3131, I believe. What? Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you can always drop in now.
Hold on a second. It's 264 what? 264 5252.
Okay.
All right, hold on, and we'll give you a post-it number.
Okay,
Note
thank
that
you.
number. Thanks, Ms. Adams. All right, Mr. Glazer.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. I'll see you about 1:40, all right? All right, Mr. Glazer, you waived arraignment in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Ruth Hines. Let's see. You have Zachary Davis. I have him in the waiting room.
Yep, I'm ready on Mr.
All right,
Davis.
Mr. Malaro, let's pop back to you on Mr. Dotson. So, Mr. Malaro, on the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Dotson,
Yes, Judge.
how do you wish to proceed with Mr. Dotson today?
Your Honor, we'd ask to adjourn this for another pretrial. Well, I see if I can't get this resolved. And we'd also like to address bond.
Okay, so August 9 at 8:30, is that acceptable?
That is, Your Honor.
All right, so we will set this for August 9 at 8:30 in the morning, and you'll do the stip in order to adjourn.
I will.
Mr. Dotson, so do you understand your next pretrial will be August 9th at 8:30 in the morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr. Malaro, you wish to address bond?
I would, Judge. In light of Mr. Coast's glowing report on Mr. Dotson's performance on drug testing, we'd ask the court to take that into consideration and remove the drug testing requirement.
So, Mr. Sneed, on Mr. Dotson, it looks like the offense date here is September 21 of 2022. He was arraigned back in May of 23, it looks like, and he's required to drug test 2 times per week, regular and random. So, Mr. Sneed, any position on that?
The people would defer to the court's discretion. Thank you.
All right, well, so Mr. Dotson, these are pretty serious charges, not in terms of penalty, but in terms of addiction. Methamphetamine is extremely concerning. You have been clean for a long period of time. I am going to lift the 2 times a week drug testing, but I will leave the bond condition that if Mr. Coast feels that you need to drug test, you will submit, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we will make those changes. Anything else on Mr. Dotson, Mr. Malaro, or Mr. Steen?
Oh, Your Honor.
No, thank you.
All right, Mr. Dotson, you're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Miss Adams, I don't think anybody came back on Mr. Worley. So did they get another date?
They did, Judge. Yes. It is August 2nd at 3:30 p.m.
August 2nd. It's on the date, August 2nd at 3:30.
Correct.
Oh. And that's a bench conference or pre-trial?
I was under the assumption we had a motion in pretrial.
Okay. That'll work. All right, we are back with Mr. Mota, Mr. Bennett. All right, back on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Louis Mota. So Mr. Bennett, have you had a chance now to speak with Mr. Mota?
I have, Your Honor, and he'd like one more adjournment so that I can meet him in person at the jail. We did have a visit. I was supposed to go see him on Monday, but the jail said they didn't have room for in person. So I set up Zoom, and then unfortunately the Zoom didn't go through and they never brought Mr. Mota down. So I'd like to, if we could do either the 2nd of August would work great. Actually, I'm already there for another case.
Okay. So, Mr. Mota, I'm going to adjourn this to August 2nd at 8:30 in the morning, and that'll be the pretrial as well as your violation of probation. And we will see you back on that day. All right.
Thank you.
Okay,
Ms.
thank you,
Arnold,
Your
I'll be in
Honor.
touch with you as soon as I know.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mota.
Have a good day.
Judge.
Okay, I'll see you
Too.
soon. Ms. Arnold,
Okay.
I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Zach Davis. Zach Davis.
Hello,
Hi, Mr. Davis. Who is your attorney?
John Glazer.
I have Mr. Davis.
All right, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Zachary Allen Davis, file number 23-21375FH. I have John Glazer appearing on behalf of Mr. Davis, and I have Jacqueline Weiss or Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the time set for pretrial. Hold on a second. Miss Adams, could you tell Mr. Coast that Mr. Winhoven is in custody now?
Okay.
All right, so Mr. Glazer, how would you like to proceed on behalf of Mr. Davis today?
Did you say, is Mr. Sneed, is this your case? Oops.
No, it's not my case.
Who is this assigned to? Do you know?
One second. It's assigned to Mr. McCready. Thank you, Judge.
To who?
Mr.
Oh, Mr.
McCready.
McCready.
Yes, Your Honor. We'd asked to, there's a transcript, even though we waived the exam, there's a transcript of some witness testimony. We'd like to have that ordered and set it for another pretrial. I put on a witness and took some testimony and waived the remainder of the exam.
Okay, have you submitted that request?
No, I thought the court ordered it.
Was it a preliminary exam?
Yeah, it was the first part. It was like one witness and then we waived the remainder.
Okay, we don't automatically order it, but Ms. Adams, would we typically do the paperwork at this point? Or does the attorney?
I am so sorry, Judge. What is it for, a transcript?
Yeah, of a hearing. It was part of a prelim before it was waived. Does Mr. Glazier do that paperwork or do we?
Yeah, he just needs to send a request. Email's fine.
Yeah. There's a form that your office uses, Mr. Glazier.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so they have 90 days to prepare that. So it's August, September, October. So how about October 11th for another pretrial?
Okay.
Is that all right with you as well, Mr. Sneed?
Yes, it is.
All right, we will see you back on October 11th at 8:30 in the morning. Mr. Glazier, you'll do the stip in order to adjourn. Mr. Sneed, can you sign your name with permission?
Yes, please. Thank you.
All right. Very good. You're all set, Mr. Davis. October 11, 8:30. Your bonds continued.
Okay.
Mr. Davis,
All
why
right,
don't you come in and see me a couple of weeks before that at my office?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, I have someone joining me from the jail. What is your name, please?
William David Hollis.
What's your last name?
Hollis, Hollis.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, thank you.
Who's your attorney, Mr. Hollis?
Miss Doosan, Van Doosan.
Hey, Judge.
Okay, this is a Judge Oldsaver file. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus William David Hollis, file number 23-21407FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing today on behalf of Mr. Hollis, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time scheduled for arraignment in this matter. Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed?
At this time, we'd acknowledge receipt of the information as to count one. And the habitual offender third notice, we'd also acknowledge receipt of the witness list. We would waive its reading in open court, waive any defects as to time and place of service. Mr. Hollis would plead not guilty, ask the matter be set for a pretrial.
All right. All right, well, I will enter a plea of not guilty on behalf of Mr. Hollis. And Ms. Adams, do you know if there are any pretrial dates we received from Judge Oldsaver's office?
I did not, but I'll give Francis a call.
Okay. So give us a minute, Mr. Hollis, and we'll get a date for that.
Judge, while we're doing that, can I talk to Mr. Hollis in a breakout?
Sure. Mr. Hollis, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Mr. Malaro. There you go, Mr. Malaro. Go ahead and bring that breakout room.
Judge Oldsaver has July 26th at 8:15 for a pretrial.
All right, and this was an arraignment, so Francis, Ms. Clark had to do the paperwork. Ms. Adams, I do not have Mr. Churchill or Mr. Fry, Mr. Noe. Right, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Randall Allen Lambert, file number 2021-20499 FH, 21-20500 FH, 21-20501 FH. This was a date and time scheduled for a violation of probation. Ms. Underwood, Mr. Lambert has failed to appear. I did see him. I think it was Friday or Saturday over by the park on Church, but he obviously couldn't make his way here. So I am going to issue a bench warrant for his arrest, and I'm going to set bond on each file in the amount of $50,000 cash.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do we also have Mr. Orozco?
Oddly enough, he is not here as well. So in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Joel Jesus Orozco, file number 21-20645 FH. Mr. Orozco was ordered to appear, as was Mr. Lambert, at 8 o'clock this morning. He has also failed to appear. Perhaps he's with Mr. Lambert. I'm going to issue a bench warrant for his arrest for failure to appear, and I'll set bond in the amount of $25,000 cash.
Thank you, Your
So,
Honor.
thank you, Ms. Underwood. Is Matt Murphy not here today, Mr. Dagger Margosian or Mr. Malaro?
I do not know. Let me check.
I just didn't know if he was on vacation this week or you were covering or. Mr. Dagger Margosian, I do have Ms. Sexton.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Hollis, I have set your next pretrial for July 26th at 8:30 in the morning. So we'll see you back on July 26th at 8:30 in the morning.
Judge, that's what Judge Olsaver, right?
Hold on, Mr. Malaro.
That's what Judge Olsaver?
That's a Judge Olsaver one, and they'll do the notice because it was an arraignment today.
Okay, and Mr. Murphy is on vacation.
Okay, are you going to be covering Mr. Murphy's files?
Don't say anything to me, but if I have to, I will.
You're all set, Mr. Hollis. Well, I think that they didn't, they have him down, they gave us his name for today. So, all right, Miss Sexton, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
Okay, not a problem. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Amy Marie Sexton, file number 23-21280 FH. I have Michael Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of Miss Sexton, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time scheduled for a pretrial conference in this matter. Mr. Dagger Margosian, how do you wish to proceed today? I see that I have a note about ECU, so I don't know if that's still relevant.
Your Honor, good morning. Michael Dagger Margosian for Ms. Sexton. Your Honor, I've been speaking with Ms. Meir on this case. we just haven't been able to come to a resolution at this point. I'm asking the court to schedule this matter for a jury trial, please.
All right, let's see. Ms. Sexton is charged with three counts of financial transaction device, which carry a maximum penalty of up to 4 years in prison, as well as lying to a police officer, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 2 years. Let's see. And she has no prior habituals. So I'm going to guess a 1 day or a 2 day trial, Mr. Dagger Margosian.
One should be fine. And if Ms. Meir and I are able to resolve this prior to trial, we can do that. But I would think 1 day is fine.
Ms. Adams, I'm looking for a 1 day jury trial, November, December.
Right?
No. I don't think we bet. No. I think I did. I want to say
Wednesday, December 6th at 10:30.
Mr. Dagger Margosian.
That's fine, Your Honor. Thank you.
So 12/6 of 23 at 10:30 in the morning. And I will make final pretrial. So final pretrial will be November 15th of 23. And that will also be the deadline for all motions, jury instructions, and voir dire questions. Is there anything else we need to address today, Mr. Dagger Margosian?
What was the time on the 15th?
Pretrial 8:30.
8:30. Okay. Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, so Ms. Sexton, I'll see you back November 15th at 8:30 in the morning for a pretrial. You're set for trial on December 6th of 2023 at 10:30 a.m. Ms. Sexton, at the time of trial, if by chance you are convicted, understand you will be remanded to custody that day. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mawad, I do have Kelsey Quinn.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let me bring her in. Need to help her. She's not connected to audio. Let me send her. Chat to connect to audio.
Kelsey, can you, oh, she's reconnecting. Okay. Judge, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Miss Quinn, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Kelsey Leanne Quinn, file number 22-21168FH. I have Elias Mawad appearing on behalf of Miss Quinn and Allison Arnold appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time scheduled for a pretrial conference in this matter. Mr. Mawad, how would you like to proceed today on behalf of Miss Quinn?
Your Honor, I think we're going to ask for one more adjournment with Allison. We talked this morning, Judge. Mr. Moto, Mayor, this is a companion case that Kelsey's a witness in, hasn't pled out yet. Can we move this to the second week of August? I'm in between CSC trials. So I've got one in the beginning at the end of July and one at the third week of August. So can we move it to August? Will that work with the court and or Ms. Arnold, or do you want to move it after Labor Day weekend?
So Mr. Moto was adjourned to August 2nd. Are you available August 9?
So I should be. I start a July 29th CSC first case, and there's 2 404B witnesses. I can't believe it would go on more than that, but if there's an issue, I'll certainly call your court. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so I'll set this over to August 9 at 8:30 in the morning. So Ms. Quinn, August 9 at 8:30 in the morning, same Zoom number. Mr. Mawad, you'll prepare the stip in order to adjourn?
I will. And Kelsey, when we get off of Zoom, please give me a call. The prosecutor and I discuss some issues after you get off of Zoom, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Mr.
Yeah,
Mawad.
thank you.
Ms. Quinn.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, Allison.
All right, Mr. Goldstein, Mr. Hawkins came in and he went back out. So maybe he went to the bathroom.
No, Judge, Ms. Arnold Miss Arnold made a significant change in the offer. And my client is thinking about it and he wanted to call his family.
Oh, okay, not a problem.
We'll come back in a little while.
Not a problem. All right, I need Charles Noe. I need Ryan Fry. I guess I can issue some bench warrants. All right, Mr. Murphy is not here. Mr. Malaro, you'll be handling his file?
Sure, Judge.
Okay. You said he's out today, right?
That's what the schedule says.
Perfect. Well, I don't have, hold on. I do not have a file in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Caleb Emmanuel Rowell, file number 23-211. No, 23-21406FH. Was a Matt Murphy file, but I don't have the file. So I'm wondering if a waiver was done. Didn't know. All right, so let's
Judge, the
move
only
on.
thing I show Mr. Murphy has this morning is a Lambus.
That was a Judge Olsaver file.
Right.
What, Miss Adams?
Somebody had wrote on my docket for Mr. Ols or for Judge Olsaver that Rowell was waived.
Okay. I will write that in. So that means I'm done with Judge Olsaver's docket. Okay, good. So let's find people to issue events for. It's for jail. I have Miss Adams, I'm sorry to bother you again, but I do not have Charles Noe on Mr. Goff.
Okay.
All right, I do have Aaron Lambus. He's in there you go. All right, can bring him in. Mr. Lambus, go ahead and unmute your device, please.
Okay.
Thank you. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Aaron Wayne Lambus, file number 23-21370FH. I have Mr. Lambus appearing via Zoom. I have Salvatore Malaro covering for Mr. Murphy today, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. So, Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed today?
Judge, I was looking at Mr. Murphy's notes on the matter. It looks like he needs to talk to Mr. Isaac about one more matter. So I'd ask that this get adjourned briefly.
All right, I do have my next available date of August 9 at 8:30 in the morning. So Mr. Lambus, I'm going to adjourn this to August 9 at 8:30 in the morning. Make sure you write it down, and same Zoom number. And Mr. Malawi will do the step in order to adjourn.
Yeah, we'll have that done, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Lambus, we'll see you back on August 9 at 8:30 in the morning, all right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, I have an email from Mr. Noe that he and Miss Wagner were requesting an adjournment on Mr. Golf.
But Mr. Goff is here, so. How far of an adjournment?
It says 30 to 60 days.
All right. Let me let Mr. Goff in. Mr. Goff, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan. Let me find you here. Versus James Henry Goff, file number 23-21365FH. Mr. Goff is present via Zoom. Mr. Goff, evidently your attorney and a prosecutor sent a request to adjourn today's hearing out about 30 to 60 days. So I'm going to set this out to September 6th at 8:30 in the morning. Mr. Goff, September 6th at 8:30 in the morning. So it's the same Zoom number. So just call back in on September 6th at 8:30, all right?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And Ms. Adams, can you email back Mr. Noe that he needs to do the step in order to adjourn?
Yes.
Okay. And Ms. Adams, from the jail, I need Aaron Carr, James Winhoven, Zachary Ladd, although I don't have Brian Fry. D'Angelo Williams. So it looks like we are just waiting on the jail. I'm going to take these files back to Ms. Adams. And I'll be right back.
Yes. I came to watch the trial for Ruth Hines, but I think I was downstairs. I heard the judge mention it once. Ruth
They
Hines.
waived arraignment.
They waived arraignment.
There's no hearing.
There's no hearing. So basically, it's done.
Not today. I don't know when it adjourned to.
Okay.
Sorry.
She was driving the car. My brother was. I just want to make sure we see that she's not guilty, or it's just going to be.
It'll be another day.
Another day. Okay, that's fine.
All right,
Thank you so much. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I think it was 3, at least it was.
All right.
You can. How did I lose all my jail? No, I still have one jail info. Morning, Miss Van Duzen.
Good morning. I only
Did you
have,
see Mr. Hawkins is in the hallway? Who do you have, Miss Van Duzen?
just Mr. Lambs. Lambes, Aaron.
Well, that got adjourned. Mr. Malaro handled it. Your office gave me Matt Murphy's name, so it was set for another pre-trial on August 9th at 8:30.
Sorry, boss, I should have told you.
That's okay. Yeah, it's gonna be a plea. Can we try to get it in next week? I'll call your office on a different day.
I won't be here next week.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I could probably get it in. Becky, is there or Miss Adams the week of this? I mean, I'm here Thursday and Friday too.
Oh, what week?
This week?
This is Thursday and Friday. Oh, you're right. Let me see what I could do. I'll get a hold of Mr. Lambs and see what we can do.
All right.
And I'll call your office to correlate something.
Okay, not a problem. Thank you. Huh? Okay, he's still on the phone. Okay. All right, well, let's get started on the jail. Here's another page in that.
We go to number 2, huh? Well, that's probably. I can put that right around. All right.
Hi, who do I have from the jail?
Yes,
What
ma'am.
is your name?
D'Angelo Williams.
All right, let me grab your file, Mr. Williams. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus D'Angelo Williams. We have multiple files, 22-21133FH, 23-21308FH, 23-21309FH, and 23-21310FH. I have Michael Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Williams. And I have Salvatore Malaro appearing, Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for final pretrial. Mr. Dagger Margosian, how do you wish to proceed today?
Your Honor, can I speak with Mr. Williams briefly, please?
Sure. Let's see something really quick. We are set for jury trial on July 20th of 23 on file number 22-21133FH. Is that correct, Mr. Dagger Margosian?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so. I'm going to assign you, Mr. Williams, and Mr. Dagger Margosian to a breakout room. Miss Adams.
Yes.
Over the long holiday, were there any transmissions from the jail that indicated why Mr. Van Winhoven was back in custody?
Not sure. I can try and find out.
Mr. Coast, I'm gonna assume he's back in custody because of that, the bonding agency.
Yeah, I'm not certain, Judge. I mean, I can call over the jail to find out why he is lodged.
Okay. Mr. Hawkins, you all set?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Goldstein, I do have Mr. Hawkins back. Let me grab his file.
Am I going to the podium?
Yeah. Mr. Goldstein might be logged in on another court. Feeling he has like multiple laptops on his desk, so. Mr. Goldstein, whenever you're ready. Just have a seat. He might be logged in on another court.
Judge, I sent him a text too.
Okay. Oh, Mr. Goldstein. All right, Mr. Hawkins, you can stand back up. Sorry about that. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Donald Christopher Hawkins, file number 21-20468 FH. I have David Goldstein appearing on behalf of Mr. Hawkins and Allison Arnold appearing on behalf of the people. Mr. Goldstein or Mr. Hawkins, I know that you went in the hall to talk to your family. Have you had ample time to talk to your family?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Goldstein, how would you like to proceed today?
Well, Your Honor, I know that he spoke to his family, but I don't know what he didn't give me a response. So I was hoping to talk to him before we went back on the record.
Okay. Do you want him to step out and call your office?
Yeah.
I was just gonna accept the plea.
He said he wants to accept the plea.
Okay, that's fine. Then we're ready to proceed then, Your Honor.
Judge, can you
All
give
right.
me, I'm gonna need an amended information. Can we call it in about 15 minutes? I'll get the paperwork ready.
I don't need the amended this moment. I can proceed and then you can give me an amended later if that's okay.
Okay, I'll have to, can you call something else and just give me 5 minutes to email the plea agreement to the court and Mr. Goldstein?
If you want, sure. Okay.
Okay.
Have a seat.
That's fine.
Or just a couple minutes if you call one other thing.
Allison, can you also forward that to teskys@michigan.gov, please?
Mr. Coast, you can chat me any information if you got it
Yeah,
on
Judge,
Mr. Wynn.
Yep, I did speak to the jail. Apparently there was a second amended bond condition order down at Judge Shadler's court that states that once he was done his treatment, he was supposed to return to jail. That there'll be a cash bond. So apparently he did do that. So that's why he's in jail. So with that, I mean, I suggest that we go ahead and scratch that the warrant that we did this morning.
I don't know that I want to do that.
Okay.
So let's hold it for a moment. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thanks. Does anybody other than Mr. Goldstein have someone who's not in jail? I think everybody I have left is in jail. All right, Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Dagger Margosian. So, Mr. Dagger Margosian, how do you want to proceed today?
Your Honor, I don't suppose that you have time for a Cobb's discussion today. I mean, I know you're handling both dockets here, but we kind of have to have, I'd like to have a conversation before we do anything. I mean, this case is scheduled for, as the court indicated, jury trial on the 20th of this month. Mr. Williams has a couple other cases pending.
Okay, so I'm
However you wanna
gonna
do
put
it.
Ms. Adams, who's your prosecutor?
Mr. Sneed.
All right, so I'm gonna open up a breakout room. And I'm going to assign you, Mr. Sneed. Ms. Adams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'll make you a copy. Yes, sir.
Thank you for doing that.
Of course.
All rise.
Okay, so, all right, so Mr. Daggermark goes in. It looks like there are other files than the ones that I have, or maybe there isn't. But we'll continue this to trial on July 20th at 9 a.m. If there's a resolution, Judge Olsaber can take pleas for me next week, or July 20th is a Thursday. I could take it the week I get back, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Williams, we'll see you back for trial on July 20th at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Churchill, we're just waiting for the jail. All right, Mr. Goldstein, have you talked to Mr. Hawkins?
Yes, Your
Or,
Honor.
I'm sorry, Miss
Yeah, we're
Allison
ready.
Arnold, do we have the amended information or paperwork?
Judge, I did email the court a plea. I did not get the amended information.
Okay. Did you email it to Miss Adams?
I emailed it to her, to Sierra, to Mr. Goldstein, and to Sarah Teskey.
Okay. Can someone email it to me?
Judge, I'm printing it right now.
Okay, thank you.
You're always the last to know, Judge.
I know. I know. Mr. Hawkins, you can come back up. And if anybody can hear me at the jail, I'm ready for Miss Carr, Mr. Winhoven, Mr. Ladd, Mr. Davis. Ma'am. All right, we're back on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Donald Christopher Hawkins. I have now received a copy of a plea agreement form. Looks like the plea offer is to plead no contest to assault with a dangerous weapon, which will be an added count 2. Is that correct, Ms. Arnold?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the maximum penalty for that would be 4 years?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and the habitual offender fourth offense notice, as well as count 1, would be dismissed at the time of sentencing. Is that correct as well, Ms. Arnold?
It is.
And I'm looking, there's no Cobb's evaluation, there's no Killebrew agreement other than the plea. So, Mr. Goldstein, does that accurately reflect the plea?
Judge,
No, Your
there
Honor,
is a
there
sentence
There is
agreement.
a sentence agreement, Your Honor.
Both
90
parties-
days. Yeah. Sorry, Ms. Arnold. Sorry.
Both parties agree defendant shall be sentenced to probation with 90 days of immediate jail.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right, so, Mr. Hawkins, is that the plea agreement as you understand it? Mr. Hawkins, my next question for you is, we set sentencing's out 45 days. Do you want to start your jail today, or do you want to wait till sentencing? Because you'd be almost done by the time you got back for sentencing.
I'll wait until sentencing.
Okay.
I got, some, I want to take care of
No,
my
that's fine. I was
stuff
just
I have to
asking.
pay downstairs before I.
It's okay, it's okay. All right, Mr. Hawkins, you want to raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So, put your hand down. Okay, so you have heard the statement of your attorney, me, the prosecuting attorney, is that your intention to plead guilty to count 2, assault with a dangerous weapon, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 4 years in prison.
It's a no
But you
contest.
understand-
It's a no
I'm
contest.
sorry, no contest, but, and you also understand there's an agreement. You said it would be 60 days, Ms. Arnold?
90 days, 90.
90 days. Okay, so you understand the agreement also says that you will serve 90 days in Lenawee County Jail.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Hawkins, be aware, you know you're going to jail. So at the time of sentencing, you need to show up in person. But if you don't show up, they can charge you with absconding and you don't want that either.
Yes.
All right, okay. So are you satisfied with your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and other than the agreement that was placed on the record, neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed any other possible sentence with the court in this matter. Is that correct, Mr. Goldstein?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Arnold? And as far as you're aware? Okay. If a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial. And if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial and not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
Yes, sure.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, sure.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No.
And remember, no contest. Okay. How do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about January 28th of 2021 in the city of Tecumseh in the county of Lenawee, that you did commit the offense of assault with a dangerous weapon?
No contest.
Okay. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead no contest to this charge?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes, sure.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead no contest? Mr. Goldstein?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Arnold?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and there has been a sentencing agreement. Is it your own choice to plead no contest?
Yes, sure.
All right, so Ms. Arnold or Mr. Goldstein? who's
Judge,
going to place the-
I can put the
Okay.
factual basis on. This comes from Tecumseh City Police Department, report number 278 of 2021. That report indicates that on or about the charge date at defendant's apartment, which is at 219 South Pearl Street in the city of Tecumseh, county of Lenawee, state of Michigan, that the victim, whose initials I'll put on the record, CT, was a 15-year-old girl, that through friends, she was invited to a party at Mr. Hawkins' residence. And she indicated to the police that they engaged in sexual intercourse, namely penile-vaginal penetration on that date and in that location.
Okay. And she was under the age of 15?
She was 15 exactly on that day, Your Honor, according to the report.
All right, Mr. Goldstein, do you have any additions to the factual basis placed on the record?
No, Your Honor, I think it's accurate and I think it sets forth the elements that we need.
Okay. Well, based on the facts placed on the record and from the information contained in the police report, the court finds beyond a reasonable doubt that on January 28th of 2021 in the city of Tecumseh in the county of Lenawee, that the defendant did commit the offense of assault with a dangerous weapon, and that he had penile vaginal penetration with an individual who was the age of 15. And therefore, the court does find that he committed the offense and the court accepts the no contest plea. Has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Goldstein?
I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
Ms. Arnold?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I accept the plea. It's been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. There is a Cobb's or a Killebrew agreement to sentencing. The court acknowledges that and will honor that. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. Are you on probation?
Yeah,
We're on probation.
Holly.
Ms. Holly? All right, so you understand how long have you been on probation?
I'm on 4 years.
Okay, so you potentially could be facing a violation of probation.
Violating, yeah.
Okay. All right, so you know that's coming. And you knew that when you entered this plea that you could be violated.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm going to, Mr. Goldstein, did you say you're not available in September? August?
Your Honor, it's really sort of hit and miss. Some weeks I am and some weeks I'm not. I've got my calendar here, so.
Okay, I have August 18 for sentencing. Are you available that day?
Let me check, Your Honor. Yes. Friday, the 18th, Your Honor, yes.
Okay, all right, so I will set you for sentencing on August 18th. Miss Adams, could I get a notice of hearing for Mr. Hawkins? And that will be at 8:15 in the morning, and I'm gonna get you a notice. So I'm assuming Miss Holly will do your pre-sentence report. So when you get done, check in across the hall and she'll give you a packet of paperwork to fill out. And then when you meet with her, you entered a no contest plea, so you don't have to talk about the events that occurred, just your background. And then we will see you back here for sentencing on August 18th at 8:15 in the morning. You're gonna have to come in person because you'll go to the jail that day, right?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
If you don't show up, they can charge you with absconding and it's tax, and you don't want that. This is a really good deal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No.
Have a seat, we'll get you a notice of hearing. Mr. Goldstein, anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Arnold.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Adams. And across the hall, Mr. Humphrey. All right, who do I have joining me from the jail? You in orange, what's your name?
This is James.
What's your name?
I said James.
Winhoven?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, okay. All right, this is in the matter of James Edward Winhoven, file number 23-21410FC. I have Timothy Churchill appearing on behalf of Mr. Winhoven, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. It does appear that this is the date and time, double check, for arraignment in this matter. Mr. Churchill, do you and your client waive the reading of the felony information?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. I would waive a reading of the formal information. Client would stand mute.
Okay. Have you received a copy of the people's request for discovery, felony information, and witness list?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
All right. And are you asking the court to enter a plea of not guilty on your client's behalf?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Churchill, this morning, Mr. Coast from Pretrial Services contacted us and prepared a motion affidavit and bench warrant. We weren't quite aware at the time that he was in custody because our records didn't show him in custody because his GPS tether was removed on July 3rd of 23. The device was returned to JSG monitoring. without getting it put back on. And I'm not sure what day he was taken into custody, but obviously he's in custody now. So what is he in custody on, Mr. Churchill?
Well, Your Honor, he's in custody right now on the 2 charges in this complaint. I had thought this is kind of an unusual situation. If you can bear with me a moment here. His bond was originally set in the amount of 100,000, 10%. That bond had other conditions too, that if he were released from jail, he'd have to have a monitor on, which he did. After the bond was set, about 4 days later, the victim found out the bond was reduced, had a fit, contacted the prosecutors, wanted bond reviewed, and the district court judge moved bond back where it was. He was then incarcerated. After posting, it was reduced to 5,000 cash, which was paid and then refunded after he was rearrested.
Hold on, Mr. Churchill. Hold on, Mr. Churchill. So the victim in this case requested a bond hearing?
Yes, was upset with the bond. We had a hearing on that last.
Hold on. Was there a bond hearing where his bond was raised?
Yes, back to the original amount.
Okay, got it. All right, go ahead.
Okay, well, as I said, his bond was reduced to 5,000. He got out. There were no problems, but the victim was upset, so it went back to 100,000 with the bond condition of the tether. He got arrested on the 27th, but due to his special medical needs and the fact he's autistic and on SSI and has autism and was having some major medical issues going on, you'll see a memorandum in the file where Judge Shadler stated that the parents could appear at jail and transport him to his medical appointments, which they did on July 3rd. He had an MRI of the brain that was scheduled a week and a half before that, but it was involved having to have a radiologist there for dye and contrast and all that. He was taken, and when they got him to the hospital, they found out he still had his tether on. So the tether had to be removed because he couldn't have any metal on to go in the MRI machine. And the parents didn't realize that until they were ready to put his gown on. Normally, when they get returned to jail, they don't leave a GPS monitor on. And that's something we might need to deal with for future medical appointments. But so anyway, that's where we're at in regard to the bond issue today. And I was going to further ask if the court would consider a reduction in bond because of defendant's kind of unusual situation here. If I may allocute on that a second, Your Honor.
Well, Mr. Sneed, are you prepared to address bond in this case today?
No, this information is all new to the people, at least for me as of this morning. I'm covering for Mr. McCready. He'll be back in the office next week. I'd ask if the court would like to entertain a bond hearing that we have some time to maybe discuss this with Mr. Churchill about the conditions and follow up with the victim again regarding the current circumstance of the tether removal.
So, Mr. Churchill, because this is first appearance in front of me, and I only have a felony information, so I don't have much more information than that and what you've given me. I think in this case, I can set this for a bond hearing so that the people have an opportunity to respond. It appears that there's potentially a victim who would like to speak as well at the bond hearing. So, and I do have them in the courtroom and they would like an opportunity to be heard through the prosecutor as well. So I'm not going to address bond at this time, but I can give you a date for that and you could submit a sentencing or a bond motion and allow the people to respond, Mr. Churchill.
Okay.
Miss Adams, I'm looking for July 17th, something during the week of July 17th. for about 30 minutes. Could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Your Honor, could the court allow me to run and grab my schedule? It's 2 offices.
Sure.
over. Okay, sorry, I didn't.
Sure.
have- Okay. Momentarily.
Yeah.
I'm back, Your Honor. The 17th is fine if it's in the morning.
No, Mr. Church, I'm waiting for Miss Adams to give us a date that week. Hold on.
Judge, we could do Tuesday, July 18th at 10 a.m.
Mr. Churchill,
Yeah, that'll work.
Mr. Post, or I'm sorry, Mr. Post, I know you're here. Mr. Steen
That Tuesday, July 18th.
at 10 a.m.
Yes, that's fine for the people.
All right, so I'm gonna set it for bond hearing and pretrial conference on July 18th at 10 a.m. And is there anything else? And I'll enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf. And we'll see you back July 18th at 10 a.m.
And
Thank
just
you.
a few other things I want to advise the court of. I will be talking to the prosecutor to stipulate to filing a motion to have the defendant forensically examined for competency and criminal
So,
responsibility.
okay, so Mr.
Just to
Churchill,
let
you're
you know
making
where
a,
this is heading.
hold on. So Mr. Churchill, you're making a motion for forensic examination as to competency as well as criminal responsibility.
That is correct, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, so I need you to submit the paperwork for that today.
Okay.
Mr. Sneed, any objection to that?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, so Mr. Churchill, you could submit the request for competency as well as criminal responsibility. I think those take about 60 days, so go ahead and submit that. I'll need 4 copies of each request.
Okay.
And then I'll
need-
sign them on receipt, and then they'll get returned to you, and you can send that, a copy of each of those plus copy of the police report to the forensic center.
Okay, very well. And one other thing I wanted to advise the court of, my clients advised me that the victim in this matter is the niece of the chief prosecutor there. And maybe asking me to file a motion to disqualify the prosecutor in this case because of the relationship with the victim and Ms. Weiss, the chief prosecutor. But I've not, that just came to my attention this morning. I've not had a chance to address it.
Okay, Mr. Sneed, all right, so Mr. Churchill, you can file that motion and have it ready for the 18th as well.
Very well.
Mr. Sneed, do you have any information on that?
I'll have to look into that, Judge, and we
Okay.
can reply to the motion accordingly. Thank you.
Okay, all right, so Mr. Churchill, you can submit that motion for July 18th as well.
Very well. Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Sorry, we had it down at 10 o'clock. District said be here at 10 o'clock for arraignment on the 5th, and I guess you were calling me earlier and,
My arraignments are 8:30 in the morning.
okay, I was given time for you.
I'm sorry, District Court it's okay, District Court obviously gave you the wrong date and time. All right, so we'll see you back on July 18th at 10 a.m. Thank
Very
you.
good. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too, thank you. All right, you're all set, James. You can go. Thank you. All right, so you can get next.
Yeah.
At the jail, I need Aaron Carr. I need I need Aaron Carr, Zachary Ladd.
There you go. Well, I don't figure it out right now. I can't figure it out. And, we do a lot of here, okay, a little bit. Very hard, you want to do. You do or you don't, why don't?
Oh, here.
All right, who do I have joining me from the jail?
Aaron Carr.
All right, so Mr. Dagger Margosian. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Aaron Michelle Carr, file number 23-21409FH. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people, Michael Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of Ms. Carr, This is a date and time set for arraignment in this matter. Mr. Dagger Margosian, do you waive the reading of the felony information?
I do, Your Honor. We'll waive the formal reading of the charges, stand mute.
Alright. And how would you like to proceed today?
Well, Your Honor, we'll probably need a pretrial date. We have been trying to get Ms. Carr into rehab. That may be why Mr. Coast is on screen right now, but I know that he's working to get her specifically into Dawn Farm. I'm
Yeah,
wondering-
Mike, she was evaluated by CMH and arrangements have been made to where she's actually been going to Salvation Army Harbor Light. And that's actually Aaron's choice. So she's actually going to be released today to go to treatment.
Great, wonderful. Your Honor, in light of that, I'll just ask the court to schedule this for a pretrial, and I'll just need a quick moment with Ms. Carr after we get that date, if that's okay.
No, I've got 4 people at the jail and I'm
All right.
just not able to get them today. So I apologize for that. Usually I have a couple jail windows, I thought, but I don't today, and I have 3 more people. So Ms. Carr, you're gonna be released to Harbor Light today.
Yep.
When you go there, a bond condition is that you enter and complete the program. Do you understand that?
Absolutely, yes.
You are not allowed to leave. I don't care if you have a bad day, you don't like the people there, you don't like parts of the program, whatever it is, if you leave, that's a violation of your bond conditions and I won't let you out again. Do you understand?
I absolutely understand that, yes.
All right, so I will enter a plea of not guilty on her behalf, and I will set this out to Mr. Dagger Margosian. Why don't I set this out to August 9, or do you want to go to September 6?
Well, Your Honor, here's the thing. Ms. Carr has a delayed sentence coming up on August 11th, I want to say.
Yes.
So however we want to coordinate with that. And she, I mean, she may still be in recovery rehab at that point. So
She can zoom in from there usually.
Yeah.
All right, do you want me to set this over for pretrial on August 11 at 8:15?
Yeah, please, that works.
All right, so Ms. Carr, I'm gonna set this for pretrial August 11 at 8:15 along with your sentencing.
Okay,
On your other case, good luck at Harbor Light,
thank you.
and I'll enter a plea of not guilty. All right, so good luck, Ms. Carr.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dagger Margosian.
Set.
Yep, you're all set.
Okay, thank you.
Tell them I need the next person though, Mr. Ladd.
Yes, they need the next person.
Shave is good. Shave is good. And look at it. Exactly there. Party on the heart anymore. Good.
Hi, Mr. Ladd.
Yeah.
Okay, let me grab your file. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Zachary Lawrence Allen Ladd, file number 22-21116 H. I have Brian Fry appearing on behalf of Mr. Ladd, Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time scheduled for pre-trial of this matter. Mr. Fry, how would you like to proceed today?
So, Your Honor, the last couple of times we've been adjourning this because Mr. Ladd has 3 new felony files in district court that are more serious than these charges. Mr. Daly represents him on those, not me. For some reason, they have been set out to September 7th for a probable cause conference. So I'm not sure why that was. We'll still be looking for some type of global resolution to all these things, but at this point, we either be asking for the court to set it out one more time or to set it for a trial.
Okay, Mr. Sneed, any input?
Your Honor, that September date would work for the people. That would give us time to work out a global resolution if that's what the defendant's looking for.
What was the date in September, Mr. Fry?
September 7th.
September 7th is a Thursday. What is September 7th? I'm sorry, I was looking at my other screen.
Mr. Ladd has 3 new separate felony files in district court, and they're set for a probable cause conference all the way out in September 7th.
So can we set this for another pre-trial on September 13th?
I'd be agreeable to that, Your Honor.
Yeah, I suspect there may have been a request for forensic evaluation. Mr. Daly.
There was.
Evaluation.
There was a request for a forensic, and it already came back that Mr. Ladd was competent. So.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Okay, so I'll set this for another pre-trial on September 13th. And that'll be at 8:30, and then hopefully we'll know what's going on with the newer files in district court. You said those are more serious offenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Ladd, we'll see you back on September 13th.
Can I ask you a question? I can't talk.
Sure.
I was gonna ask if I get a PR bond on these charges, since upstairs they already PR'd me on those charges yesterday, and I have a bond on these charges. So I already got a job for Saitler, I got an address for Saitler, I got it all lined up, and then they told me I had a fucking bond on my bed.
I'm sorry. So watch your language.
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Ladd. So what is your bond on mine? You're saying Judge Shadler gave you a PR bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Sneed, can you verify that? What are the charges that are so much more serious that you would get a PR bond?
I gave her a job and everything.
Mr. Ladd, hold on a minute. I'm talking to Mr. Sneed.
He was facing a 10-year assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder.
Okay, you're popping in and out, Mr. Fry.
Sorry, Your Honor. I think it was assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder was the most serious charge he was facing downstairs.
Right. I don't know if anybody can verify.
So it looks like it was originally a personal reconnaissance bond. I have a note saying the bond was changed July 3rd, and it has the bond amount at being $0. So
that was changed in district court?
Correct. That looks like that occurred on July 3rd.
And the bond is what?
It was set at $0.
Was it a PR?
Yeah, it appears so, Judge. I'm looking at my court right now. I can check one other file.
I mean, I thought he had a PR bond in mind.
I thought so too.
So I show that back on October 27th of 22, I mean, originally he was appearing in person. He had a $40,500 PR bond. And there's a couple of cause, some information. Miss Adams, what is this current bond on this? Is it a PR?
Let me look. Computer shows 5,000.
When did that get set?
I have no idea. Looking to see if it says an RON. Oh. February 1st, possibly.
By me?
It says a pre-sentence commitment, so yes, I believe so.
So I don't have any paperwork in the file on that. I'm gonna guess, I don't. April 12th. February 1, right here. All right, so I think it was, he asked for a cash bond on that day so that he was getting credit, Mr. Fry. I do have paperwork, February 1. So it looks like at the request of attorney, bond was changed on this file so we get credit. So Mr. Sneed, with the request for a PR bond on this file?
People would defer to the court. I don't know, maybe Mr. Lack can indicate why his case downstairs was adjourned 2 months. But these are serious charges, so it appears bond
Well,
based on that.
Okay, so it looks like the only reason my bond was changed is so he was getting credit because he had a bond in the district court case. Mr. Fry, do you know why your client's case was adjourned 2 months?
I do not, Your Honor. I'll need to reach out to Mr. Daly on why it was set out for so long. I mean, obviously these are usually within a couple of weeks, but I don't know.
Well, I will, since he has a PR bond on the one in district court, I will change mine back to a PR bond as well. Since the only reason I gave him a cash bond was to give him credit. So, September 13th at 8:30 in the morning. So Mr. Fry, you will do the stip in order to adjourn.
Yes, I can do that. Mr. Sneed, can I sign your name with permission?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
All right, you're all set, Mr. Ladd.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, and to the jail, I just need, I think
you said September 17 and you just said September 13, so I don't know.
It's September 13.
13?
Are you done?
All right, from the jail, I need either Matthew Fonseca or Precious Davis. But I think I got the wrong floor. So,
Oh, as he said, Matthew Fonseca, Precious
I just told you. Okay. Hang on, I got the other one. Okay.
And then I have a Precious Davis, but she might be on the first floor.
No, I gotta do.
Your Honor,
Yes.
do you have Zane Ridnour on your docket today?
So it was on the jail list, but that's a Judge Olsaver file, right?
I believe so.
Judge,
Yeah, and John Glazier showed up for that one too, but Miss Adams?
Francis said that was next week. I'm guessing Wednesday. If you want to check, double check with her.
Okay.
But we're all gone. Oh, did I get? Oh my God. Three. Let me up. Everything is one side of like. That's not for you. We represent as Harding and Rounds. Co-defendant. Hey, can you call for Precious Davis? Well, actually, like on six. Yeah, room number. You call the elevator to real quick. Where's you going? And going right here to sing. And David, go right there, room number 2. We're good, yeah. Yeah, head on back to Blacker. Yeah, we're perfect. No,
All right. Hi, who do I have joining me from the jail?
Precious Davis.
All right, Miss Davis, hold on one second. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Precious Sandra Davis, file number 19-19363FH. Ms. Davis, we are here on a request in warrant for probation violation. It states here that on November 21 of 2019, the defendant was ordered not to have any assaultive, abusive, threatening, or intimidating behavior. It is alleged on March 2nd of 2020 that the defendant assaulted Laura Gaines. Ms. Teskey, are you there? Sarah Teskey? Anybody? Maybe not. Hold on. So, Ms. Davis, you are currently on probation for failure to return rented property, which
Yes,
carries a
ma'am.
maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison, but I'm trying to reach the probation department, so hold on one second. And let's see what okay, hold on. They're not answering.
That it? You done? No.
Ms. Teskey, can you log on to Zoom or like, I know, but I've been asking for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
So Ms. Teskey, I have Ms. Davis here, and I know this is a Jen Walsh file. And I'm wondering, the violation is for behavior on March 2nd of 2020, which seems a long time ago, and it was filed on March 3rd of 2020. Do you know if she absconded from probation as well? Oh, you did, Ms. Davis?
Yes, actually, my sister falsely accused me and she went downtown Detroit and she gave.
Hold on. I didn't ask
Okay.
that. I don't want to talk about the case.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So you stopped reporting to, well, no, hold on. Don't even answer that. Ms. Teskey, it looks like potentially she wasn't reporting anymore to probation. Are you able to verify whether or not there could be a violation for that as well?
I was reporting.
Your Honor, she did abscond. I can pull up her case notes if you have further questions, but I am familiar with her case.
Do you think there's going to be another violation for failing to report?
She will, Ms. Walsh will probably just encompass all of it in one.
Okay, all right. So Ms. Davis, as I said, the maximum penalty for this could be up to 5 years in prison. It looks like you may very well be charged with a violation for failing to report as required as well. Do you understand that?
No, because I still reported and I still even kept in contact with Ms. Walsh even after you guys put out a warrant for me.
Okay, but Ms. Davis, do you understand that's a possibility?
I mean, at this time, I understand, but it's not.
Okay, now, Ms. Davis, you do have a right to have an attorney represent you at this and all subsequent hearings. If you can't afford to hire one, we can appoint you one at public expense. Would you like an attorney appointed to represent you, or are you going to retain counsel?
I would like an attorney.
Okay, so Ms. Underwood, I'm going to appoint you to represent her. So I'm going to open up a breakout room. All right, so Ms. Davis, I am going to open up a breakout room for you and Ms. Underwood.
Okay.
Go ahead and use the mouse and click on join breakout room.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Underwood, I will close that breakout room. All right, she should be coming back. All right, Ms. Underwood, have you had a chance to speak with Ms. Davis?
I have, Your Honor.
And how would you like to proceed? Ugh.
Your Honor, I would ask the court to enter a not guilty plea on Ms. Davis's behalf in this matter, Your Honor. And I wish to be heard on bond. I think it's very important.
All right, and this is a Judge Olsaver file, so I will set this over to July 12 at 8:15 in the morning. I'll enter a plea of not guilty, and you can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Davis, Your Honor, as the court is aware, this is a allegation from 2020. It's my understanding that Ms. Davis's sister has recanted this in toto, Your Honor, and signed an affidavit that she was somewhat angry with Ms. Davis about something else, Your Honor, and perhaps did not tell the truth. Ms. Davis has been in periodic contact with Ms. Walsh, Your Honor. Ms. Davis lives in Detroit. She's prepared to give you her address. She's a cosmetologist at Forever Beauty. She works 6 days a week. She just got her son out of the CPS system, Your Honor. She's really trying to make strides in her life. She was going to turn herself in earlier this year, but she hadn't done that yet, Your Honor. We are very much asking. I don't believe that Ms. Davis does not want to get this resolved, Your Honor. She wants to get it resolved as quickly as possible, but she needs to get out. She can't have CPS taking her son back, and she can't miss work, Your Honor. If the court, and she's aware there would be an absconding if she failed to appear, Your Honor. If the court could issue perhaps a tether or a PR bond in this matter, Your Honor, we would be very grateful.
Your Honor, can I be heard on? Yep, that's what I want. So I have reviewed her case notes and spoke with Ms. Walsh. She's been an absconder since March of 2020, with the last contact being August of 2022, when she was advised to turn herself in ASAP, and she has failed to do so. We are not recommending a bond at this time due to being absconding for over 3.5 years.
Ms. Teskey, will there be a updated probation violation?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Judge.
All right. So it looks like, Ms. Underwood, I appreciate what you're saying, but it looks like there's another violation for failure to come in and take care of this. So I'm going to deny your request for a bond, and I'll send it over to next Wednesday in front of Judge Olsaver. All right. Thank you, Ms. Davis.
I can't get a chance to talk.
You can. But understand
Okay.
that anything you say on the record can and will be used against you in prior or future hearings.
No,
because it is
I don't understand, well, I'm understanding, but I'm not understanding why I'm getting a second violation when and the last time I talked to Ms. Walsh was the beginning of this year. I had talked to her about turning myself in and I told her that I had the
So,
affidavit.
Ms. Davis, that's the problem, is you didn't turn yourself in. That's why I'm not letting you out today. So you'll be back in front of Judge Olsaver next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I believe the last thing I have this morning is Matthew Fonseca, which is a Judge Olsaver file, and it's a violation of probation. Mr. Dagger Margosian, is there something you're waiting for?
I thought we had Ridenour, Judge. I have that listed, and I know Mr. Goldstein.
Right. But we just said on the record, I think a minute ago, I thought, so Mr. Glazier was here on that earlier. And my understanding is it's next week, right, Ms. Adams?
I believe so. I would just, Mr. Dagger Marcos, and if you want to check with the Olsaver's office, I believe it's next Wednesday.
Judge, I did check. It is in fact next Wednesday.
Is that all of Mr. Ridenour's cases are next Wednesday?
These are Judge Olsaver's, so I don't have Judge Olsaver's docket. You can call Judge Olsaver's office and get that information.
Mr. Dagger Margosian, I do believe that that is correct.
Okay, thanks so much.
Okay, thank you. All right, and I believe the last thing we have is violation of probation on Matthew Fonseca. And Mr. Steen dropped down. So, Miss Underwood, that little dog that was lost out in Tipton,
Yes,
did you see where I shared it and you commented on it? It was on Nosy S's, but it was a little long-haired Chihuahua.
yep. I remember seeing it. Did
It
they
was so
find it?
cute.
Please tell me they found it.
Well, the dog was found. They just had to find the owners, and they found the owners.
Did they? Yeah, it looked like somebody's baby.
I want one of those.
Uh,
I don't know if I found
my
it. I would've
sister had a
struggled getting it
long-haired
back.
Chihuahua.
Yeah.
They're feisty. But
Sean
they're-
Corsini had one. Do you remember Sean's
Yeah,
Jackson?
well, of course, yeah.
And that
Oh,
would bite anybody.
Jackson, wasn't that Jackson?
Yeah, he's still alive. They got his quinceañera 2 years ago. Yeah, he would bite everybody.
Well, do your dogs, are they bothered by fireworks?
No, they're too fat.
Well, my dog is very bothered by fireworks, so we've had an interesting 2 nights.
Did you go get some doggy CBD oil?
No, we do a thunder skirt.
Oh, okay.
And then she just attaches herself to my hip
Mhm.
and goes and runs out. And the minute she hears a firework, she pees and runs back in the house.
Yeah, no, my dogs could not really care less, probably because there's so many guns on my property being shot all the time. They just,
That would do it.
yeah, because we have a range, so my dogs don't really care about that. Or they're just too fat to get off the couch, but. So, but that was a cute dog. All right, one left. Now we're done.
Well, if you don't, it's not big, I mean, well, yeah. We have to go, look at it, go, this crash, I forgot that it was wrong. You know, it's figure out what- I'm good, I'm good. Oh, okay. My daughter. And you can do what? Going down or up? Yeah. Five different volumes. One upstairs, three. Wait, he's coming out the door. Third. Yeah. So-
Danny, remember when you were chatting after you helping in the upstairs worker? Yeah. Are you gonna give me back over there? Behave yourself, it's a job of patient.
All right, are you Matthew Fonseca?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Matthew Lewis Fonseca, file number 22-21007FH. So, Mr. Fonseca, we are here on a request and warrant for probation violation. It alleges that you have violated in multiple ways the articles of probation dated September 23rd of 2022. The allegations are as follows. You tested positive for the controlled substance cocaine on or about February 6th of 2023. You tested positive for the controlled substance methamphetamine on or about February 6th of 2023. You failed to comply with your referral to substance use treatment on or about June 1 of 2023. You failed to report to Agent David Face on or about 6/15 of 23. Your whereabouts are unknown. And that you associated with a Rodney Contreras on or about June 28 of 2023, who is a known felon. It also alleges, and those are the technical violations. So it also alleges you committed a non-technical violation and that you pled guilty to attempted trespassing on or about April 19th of 2023. So do you understand those are the allegations against you?
Yes.
All right, so you are currently on probation for attempted use of financial transaction device. Look here, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 2 years in prison if you plead guilty or are found guilty. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Fonseca, you do have the right to have an attorney represent you here today and all subsequent hearings. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, we can appoint you one at public expense. Would you like an attorney appointed to represent you?
If it's gonna take more time, I can represent myself and just play guilty.
Well, I mean, it's up to you. If you have legal questions you'd like to ask, I have an attorney available right now who can answer those questions for you.
Yeah, I'll take one right now then. That's cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with Ms. Underwood. So you may have to use the mouse and click on join the breakout room.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Well, work out, we should plenty of time. Okay. Me too. All right, I'm going to close that breakout room, Ms. Underwood. All right, so Ms. Underwood, have you had a moment to speak with Mr. Fonseca?
I have, Your Honor. At this time,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. At this time, I believe Mr. Fonseca wishes to accept responsibility and plead guilty to the violation, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Fonseca, you want to raise your right hand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Adams, I'm gonna need a sentencing date from Judge Olsaver's office. All right, so Mr. Fonseca, do you understand that Michael Olsaver, Judge Olsaver, is your judge in this case? Do you understand that?
Yes.
And he's on vacation this week, so I'm covering his docket. So do you have any objection to me taking your plea today?
No.
And then once I take that plea, do you have any objection to being sentenced by Judge Olsaver next week?
No.
Okay, all right. So Mr. Fonseca, you had an opportunity to speak with Miss Underwood.
Yes.
And are you satisfied with Miss Underwood as your attorney and the advice that she's given you?
Yes.
All right, do you understand that you do have a right to contest the violation of probation charge and have a trial on it?
Yes.
Do you understand that throughout the trial, you would be presumed innocent until your guilt is proven by a preponderance of the evidence?
Yes.
You have a right to have all the witnesses against you appear at your trial, to have your lawyer ask those witnesses questions, or you may ask them yourself, and to have me order any witnesses you might have to appear at the trial. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. You do not have to testify at your trial, and no one can say anything about you not testifying or hold it against you in any way. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
Okay. On the other hand, do you understand that you have a right to testify at your trial if you want to testify?
Yes.
How do you plead to the charge that you violated the terms of your probation by testing positive for cocaine, positive for methamphetamine on February 6th of 2023, failing to comply with referral to substance abuse treatment, and failure to report to David Face on June 15 of 23 or any time thereafter, associating with Rodney Contreras, as well as pleading guilty to an attempted trespassing on or about April 19th of 23. How do you plead to those charges?
Guilty, ma'am.
All right, do you understand, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up your right to a trial, as I've already explained to you?
Yes.
Has anything been promised to you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Has anyone threatened you in any way to get you to plead guilty?
No.
If I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during the hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea. Do you understand that?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Fonseca, you were placed on probation and you had multiple terms of your probation. One of them is that you were not to use any illegal controlled substances. Is that correct?
That's right.
And on February 6th of 2023, did you test positive for cocaine and methamphetamine?
Yes.
Is that because you had used cocaine and methamphetamine?
Yep.
All right. Now, because of that, he didn't violate you right away, but they did refer you for substance abuse treatment. Is that correct?
Yes.
And did you attend and complete that substance abuse treatment?
No.
And then on June 15th of 2023, you were supposed to report to Mr. Face. Is that correct?
Yes.
And did you report?
No.
Did you report any time after that?
No.
And then were you hanging out with a Rodney Contreras?
Yes.
And would you agree that that date was about June 28th of 23?
Yes.
And is he a felon?
Yes.
You knew he was a felon?
Yes, he is.
And you
Yes,
weren't supposed to hang out with anybody with a felony record, is that correct?
That's right.
All right, so then in district court, were you charged with trespassing and ended up pleading to an attempted trespassing back on April 19th of 2023?
Yes.
Okay, and were you sentenced on that right away?
No, not right away, but
Couple weeks.
Okay, and what happened at your sentencing?
Ended up doing 45 days.
All right, now I'm gonna yawn. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. Ms. Adams, what day would Judge Olsaber be doing sentencings?
That is July 13th at 8:15.
All right, so we will set this for sentencing in front of Judge Olsaber, July 13th at 8:15. Mr. Fonseca, do you want to be in person or do you want to be on Zoom like you are today?
Would it change the date?
No.
Would it change the date?
No,
No,
no.
It wouldn't change the date, Mr. Fonseca.
I'd like to be in person.
Okay, so I will mark that it is in person. And we will make sure the paperwork reflects that. All right, Mr. Moore will probably talk to you and do an updated probation violation report. We'll get a copy of that to Miss Underwood. Miss Underwood's really good about meeting with people in advance at the jail. But sometimes things come up, you know, like one time last week, there was some kind of medical emergency. So if she's not able to meet with you beforehand, she will meet with you and review that with you the morning of, okay?
Yeah, so it's next week, July 13th, at what time?
8:15.
8:15.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Bye.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fonseca. All
All right,
right,
thank
that concludes our morning.